Can we have a moment for the Orange Cheeto gearing up to steal the next election? Hello everyone, welcome to Can We Have a Moment? I am your host Adam Carroll, and today we're talking about the Orange Cheeto, Donald Trump. So Donald Trump last night gave an address to the nation. When I first heard that he was giving a speech, and I was like, finally, finally, we're gonna hear some information about the war that he started for no apparent reason in Iran, or whatever the fuck you call it, and give us some updates on how it's going. But no, he decided to have a speech talking about the 2020 fucking election. The 2020 election. And how it was all full of fraud and all this nonsense. What a fucking shock. So, I'm going to play some clips from his speech. We got a lot to get through. So I'm sorry. But I feel like it's important. Let's start with this one, shall we?
But most importantly, addressing this crisis of election security demands that Congress must pass the Save America Act. How easy is that to do unless you want to cheat? The only reason you wouldn't do it is you want to cheat because your policies are so bad and your candidates are so pathetic that you can't get away or can't get elected any other way. This landmark bill requires that all voters must show photo, voter ID. How simple is that? Could I have your photo, please? Photo, voter ID. All voters must provide proof of citizenship. Are you a citizen of our country, please?
This is also coming from someone who votes by mail. He doesn't do any of the shit that he's saying that the rest of the country should have to do. Also, if you don't know what the Save America Act is, it basically is just trying to get women not to vote. It would mean that women who have married their spouse, changed their last name, would have a much harder time voting, basically. Everything he's saying here, I find fascinating. You wouldn't want to pass it unless you want to cheat. The only reason you want to pass it is so that you can cheat. It's like, I got one finger pointed at you and I got 3 pointed back at me. You know what I mean? Like, that is what's happening here. You can't win because your policies are so shit. You're talking about yourself, Donald Trump. Same with, what's the other thing that he says? Your candidates are such shit. Your candidates are shit. And that's why they can't win. That's why they're not winning. But okay. I think someone took a little bit too much orange makeup to the face today. Here's the next clip we're going to show you.
And hopefully there will be no corrupt mail-in ballots, which if you watched California and so many other places, mail-in ballots are inherently corrupt. So you would have no mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military deployment, or travel if you're going away on business or vacation. These reforms are urgently needed to stop the vulnerabilities that I've mentioned.
So why do you vote by mail? Explain that to everybody. Why do you vote by mail? And no, it has nothing to do with the fact that you're president of the United States, because other presidents have voted in person before, you fucking idiot. That's not a thing. Why do you get to vote by mail, but no one else does? You psychopath. Here's another clip.
We had transgender for everybody, men and women sports, crime ravaging our cities, and the whole world was laughing at us as a nation, but not anymore.
What are you talking about? The world is laughing at you. We're all laughing at you. The only people who aren't laughing at you is probably some people in Alberta with fucking Danielle Smith, the premier who's trying to fucking turn us into the United States. Or at least turn Alberta into the United States. And also, transgender for everybody. Are you Oprah? Transgender for you, and transgender for you, and transgender for you. Like, no, that's not a thing. That's not what's happening. The number of trans women in women's sports is so minuscule. It's such a small number, and like they're treating this like the boogeyman. But like that's what you need to do with conservatives and Republicans, is to give them like a little bit of that red meat, so they forget that they can't afford gas, they can't afford fucking food, they can't afford their health care. But as long as they get to be pieces of fucking shit to the black guy, to the trans people, to the gay people, it doesn't fucking matter. As long as they get to be a giant piece of shit, it's all that matters. It's all that fucking matters. Transgender for everybody. Jesus Christ. Like, what the fuck? Okay, here's Trump getting real mad at ABC and NBC because ABC and NBC, not right now, Eugene. Papa's working. ABC and NBC chose to refuse. They refused to air his speech tonight or last night, and yeah, here's him going off about it in his speech.
In a rare move, NBC and ABC fake news have both said that they would not cover this speech. They knew what it was about because of the fact that they don't like the topic, because they know how corrupt our system is and they don't want to reveal it. They and others in the media are part of a plot. They want to continue this fraud for whatever reason. They want to keep it going. They want to protect the radical left. They can't have a great country, and that's true. You can't have a great country without free and fair elections. Fraud like this should mean a revocation of their licenses. They use our public multi-billion-dollar in value airways for absolutely no money. They pay nothing. All we want is honesty in our elections and honesty in reporting. They pay nothing for multi-billion-dollar assets.
Okay, so NBC and ABC both knew that you were going to get on and lie. Lie. So yeah, of course they weren't going to fucking air your speech. But no, they did it because they didn't like the topic. They wanted to continue the fraud and protect the radical left. He's got nothing. Continue the fraud? You're the fraud. How much money have you made while being president? You're the fraud. It's wild to me that people still believe this horseshit. Okay, so here is Trump also in this speech talking about how China, the 2020 election, just watch the clip.
Over a period of years, starting during the 2020 election cycle, the People's Republic of China carried out what is believed to be the largest compromise of election data in history, resulting in China's illicit acquisition of 220 million U.S. voter files. That information includes names, addresses, phone numbers, political party preferences, and other sensitive data that would be needed to register to vote and engage in other nefarious activities, which is exactly what was happening. Think of that, tens of millions of voters' data in 18 states have been bought, stolen, or hacked by China. Yet those responsible for sounding the alarm instead kept the information secret and hidden. They did not disclose to me as president or to anyone else, and to the best of our knowledge, they did not inform Congress. In fact, all they kept saying is, this is the most secure election in the history of our country. A standard, very pat line that was divvied out.
No proof, no evidence, no nothing. This man has been to court so many fucking times with this fucking lie. But no, the election was stolen, guys. The election that he was in fucking charge of in 2020. Who was president in 2020? This guy, Donald Trump. But it was, but that's the election that was stolen. The one that he was in fucking charge of. He was president. Like, what the fuck? Okay, I'm gonna show this video of Keith Edwards. So Donald Trump said, if you don't know who Keith Edwards is, he's super fucking hot. I love him. Oh my god, he's beautiful. He's a commentator, a political commentator. He's fantastic. He's online, YouTube, Instagram. Go follow him. Eugene, Dad's busy. Come play! Anyways, here's a clip that he just uploaded because Donald Trump said that he was going to release the evidence that China was gonna interfering with the 2020 election, blah blah blah. And here's Keith Edwards looking up that evidence.
Holy shit, the president released documents showing the 2020 election was stolen. Okay, I'm just gonna download that here. Then open this. Okay. Oh, shit. Oh, wait, so it was stolen, but wait a second. What?
Just a little bit redacted. All that proof, all that evidence. Just a little bit redacted. Okay, y'all, last thing I want to talk about before we go, because obviously Donald Trump's an idiot. The 2020 election was not stolen. The 2018 midterms were not stolen. Anything where he loses, he thinks something was stolen. 2018, he was president, so, like, what the fuck? 2020, he was president, so what the fuck? John Ossoff, Senator John Ossoff of Georgia, I believe. Yeah, it's Georgia. I love him. I think he's beautiful. He's going to be running for president in 2028 without a doubt. I think he's fantastic. Everything I've looked up about him, I really like. AIPAC hates him, so I love him. Here's a couple clips of John Ossoff just being gorgeous and smart, and hopefully he will not be bought and paid for by the Democratic establishment, and hopefully he's a bit more on the progressive side, because quite frankly that's the only way a Democrat is going to win in 2028 is if they're able to energize the base, and quite frankly people like Gavin Newsom, you're not going to be able to energize your base. The fact that you're against taxing billionaires, you're not going to be able to energize your base. John Ossoff is quite in favor of taxing wealthy people as far as I've seen. Anyways, here's a clip.
It is misconduct, presidential misconduct, to abuse the bully pulpit and to abuse intelligence authorities and declassification authorities, if indeed that's what he'll do tonight, in order to pursue his sour grapes election denialism, trying to overturn an election that he lost 6 years ago. And I think that every elected leader in the country, Democrat or Republican, has an obligation to denounce this.
Love John Ossoff.
You refuse to answer a basic question about who won a presidential election, but you asked to lead America's intelligence community? Isn't it humiliating to be unable to answer this question, to have to indulge the president's delusions? We know, you know, everybody in this room knows the truthful answer to that question. Why can you not give it?
I think I gave you the answer.
Please run for president. Oh my God, the world needs you as president of the United States. So Donald Trump is going to try and steal the election. The midterms, I think he's going to try and steal without a doubt. I don't think he will allow the peaceful transfer of power for any of the like California, for example, in 2026 later this year. I think it's going to be a mess. He's going to try and steal it, and he has put loyalists in the places of people for when he tried to do it in 2020. Those people stood up and said no, but now he has replaced those people with loyalists. So the United States, good fucking luck. Good fucking luck. It's gonna be a mess. It's gonna be a good mess. Anyways, y'all, that's all I have. If you like this video, please thumbs it up. Make sure you're subscribing. Share this video with your friends. Pray for the United States, because they fucking need it. And pray for their education system, because they need a better education system. Like, holy shit. Anyways, y'all, peace out.